everyone. Welcome to the Golden Ratio Podcast. I am Jen, GR Mom, joined as always by GR Dad.
Hi.
How's it going, GR Dad?
Pretty good.
Excellent. Excellent. The cocktail of the week is called the Adios, motherfucker. I didn't make that name up. That's what it's called.
That's pretty good.
It is half an ounce each of vodka, rum, gin, tequila, blue curacao, and then 2 ounces of lemonade.
Where'd it come from?
It's just on Pinterest. Pinterest was like, you know what you would like to see, Jen? A cocktail called Adios, motherfucker.
Yeah. We used to have a AMF on the back of the Coxswain's jersey in college rowing.
Oh, is that what it stood for?
Yes. It was like a little inside joke. Adios, motherfucker. Because if you can see the Coxswain, then you're behind.
Well, all right then.
So it has history.
Yeah, then you especially will like this one.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. That'll put you right to sleep.
Plus it's blue, but tastes like orange, which is does not compute.
Well, it's got more lemonade than anything else in it, so it probably tastes vaguely.
It tastes like lemon.
All right. We have nothing for Administrative Corner this week, unless you have something.
No.
Okay. Dog updates. I know it doesn't seem like it, but Voodoo has come home since our last podcast.
All right. Time has slowed way down. Yeah. It seems like months since he was in Miami. It seems like months since I brought Remy up to Miami.
I know.
Unbelievable.
I know. Remy had been to Miami as of our last podcast, but Voods had not come home yet. So Voods is home. He had a very rough kind of 4-ish days after he came home.
He was rubber-legged.
Just could not stand up. We had to have him in the help him up harness for I think 3 days because he just would fall down. He couldn't stand up by himself and he would just fall down.
Yeah.
He has not been like that after his previous stays at the Miami spa. I mean, he comes home a little wobbly and sleepy, but this was much, much worse than he has been. Yeah. But then by the end of the weekend, into Monday this week, he really perked up and now he's kind of back to how he was.
Yeah. The good news is he's perked up. The bad news is that terrifies you.
Like, why are you so perky, Voods? Why are you being kind of normal for you?
Oh, this always precedes bad things, Voods. Stop it.
Yeah. But so he's doing good. He hasn't had any more seizures. He's perky, having a fun time.
He's eating stuff again. He's most recent victim is the snuffle mat.
Yeah, he got some of the snuffle mat.
Snuffle-mat.
If you're a Patreon or super follower, you saw the video that I posted tonight where I try to keep strawberries in the house for when we make sangria, which is actually not that often, but it's never bad to have strawberries. And our strawberries are overripe at this point. And so we made sangria tonight and we used some of the strawberries. And I was like, well, we can't keep the rest of these strawberries. They're like, they're okay. I wouldn't just eat the strawberries.
They're just a little bit too squishy.
Yeah, so when I gave CB his second dinner, instead of giving him extra green beans, I gave him a bunch of strawberries because the strawberries are going, and he thinks strawberries are delish. And then I was like, Voods, would you like a strawberry? And Voods took it in his mouth, and then he's like, and spit it out on the floor.
I still think is impossible.
You are super flower. You can watch the video. He spit it out 3 times, and then when I took him out to pee and brought him back in, the empty glasses of sangria were still outside and they have the sliced strawberries, and I was like, maybe I just gave him like this big ass strawberry and he didn't know to chew it, so I gave him a slice. No, spit that thing back out too. So according to Voods, so far the only thing that we have discovered that is not Voods foods is strawberries.
I didn't know his mouth even worked that way to spit anything out.
He seemed confused also.
He's like, I've never done this before.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he likes toilet paper. You don't like strawberries?
I know.
Voods, you're a strange man.
Yep. So there you go. So Voods is doing fine. I mean, he's still a little sleepy. He's still kind of wobbly.
Yeah.
But
he's got more perky periods, and he's
for sure
with it.
Yeah. Walking around with his mouth open like he's gonna do mischief.
Yep.
That's always good. We have one Remy update, but Ingo, I'm going to give you, I guess we have a Vink update too, but we have no guac updates.
No.
We have
Except he likes the deck.
Yeah, we'll do a whole ramblings on that.
And guac was on the dresser again the other day.
Yeah.
He likes to look out the window from the dresser.
He gets real mad sometimes when he can't go in the backyard, and then he jumps up onto the dresser
Yeah, and he was just standing up there looking around.
Our poor dresser has all kinds of claw marks on
and
the top.
And the window has nose marks on there. It's like a 6 foot off the ground window. Guago man.
Yep. Hops is doing fine. I don't think we have any real updates on Hops.
Yep, she's enjoying occasionally going in the water now.
I do have one rambling that Hopper apparently was looking at a ghost this week.
What?
You were there. She was like sitting in front of the bedroom doors, like looking into the bedroom, and then something fell somewhere.
There may be a ghost. Yeah. It's like a fairly friendly ghost, or neutral anyway.
Yep. CB, no updates.
No. CB.
Yep.
He's steady.
The Remy update is brief. You went and got us sandwiches from the cafe.
Yes.
The cave.
Yes.
And you left your sandwich, I guess we went together, and they make, this place is called the cafe. We call it the cave because they don't have the little accent over the E. It's a delicious vegetarian restaurant in Key West.
They actually also have meat and seafood, but
just a little bit.
Really good vegan and vegetarian.
There's like one chicken dish and one seafood dish.
Yep.
Everything else is vegetarian.
So good.
They have, veggie sausage pizzas and veggie burritos and
pepper steak.
You get the veggie pepper steak sandwich. Their truffle fries are delish.
Mm-hmm.
But the portions are also huge.
Mm-hmm.
And so usually we just get one sandwich and fries and split it. But this weekend we were hungry. So we went and we each basically ate half of our sandwiches and half of our French fries. And you had your leftover sandwich wrapped up in its foil sitting on the counter.
Tin foil. Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting in the living room. And suddenly Remy comes trotting out of the kitchen with the entire foil wrapped sandwich in his mouth. And I was like, wait a minute. And he's like, whoa, like step half paw sticking out in the front. And I was like, give that back to me. And he was like, but I don't want to. And I had to like pry it out of his mouth. But he jumped up on the counter and got it.
But he wasn't eating it yet. He was obviously taking it somewhere to eat. He was
yes,
like,
and
let
he
me
got
just
caught.
Get this somewhere.
Yeah.
He looked surprised to be stopped. Yes.
That boy's a real counter surfer.
And he has been, well, we've had the kitchen. He's been on the porch for the last 4 months with us, so he hasn't had a chance to counter surf. That's what it is.
Yep.
Life is returning to normal, and we're missing it.
So that's the little Remy update. Otherwise, he's fine.
He's got his belly shaved from his Miami visit.
Oh, I guess.
It's like big pink white belly.
Yeah, well, I guess we talked about that. We did get all of his test results and everything back, and he's fine. He doesn't have anything unusual going on, so that's good. Vink, meanwhile, was up at the vet this week because she's got really bad allergies these days, and she gets monthly shots, but she kind of almost every month gets a skin infection from her allergies. So we had her up there to get some antibiotics. She has a little cyst that they biopsied, and it's benign, but it's this lump that's been getting a little bit bigger. So she's fine. She's got some antibiotics. She's a little raw on her tongue, but she's doing okay.
Yeah, and she'll be swimming again soon, so we'll have to shampoo her and dry her and do things like that, which we haven't done in 4 months.
I know. So we're going to transition into home renovation talk unless you have anything else you want to add on dog updates.
This is going to be my theme. 4 months. It's been 4 months. I think we transition. Yes.
Okay, so it is Thursday right now, and as of Monday afternoon, all the work inside of our house is complete. I mean, there's more that we'll eventually have to do, but this project, done.
We've had like 3 days where no one has showed up at the house at 8 a.m. to do stuff and make noise and move stuff around.
It's really nice.
We have reclaimed our living space.
Our furniture's all back where it belongs.
It's been vacuumed. Yeah. And look, all the work that has been done looks really good.
Our ceiling looks amazing. We have new fans and all the new lights, recessed lighting, tongue and groove on the ceiling, new bathroom, obviously.
New air conditioner registers.
Oh, new registers. And we've done a little work. Like I replaced the fans in the other bedrooms that were original to the house. Our dad replaced the filthy registers for the air conditioning that were in the other places. We have new doors on the bedrooms in the new bathroom.
Yeah, the doors all match. Yeah.
They also close, which they did not before.
They were all warped and weird and jammy, and it was terrible.
Hollow. Yeah, so now we have new doors. It's very nice.
Didn't Brody was able to push through it.
He was chewing on one.
Yeah, he was chewing on one. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we'd have to, when we tried to keep the dogs closed in the main bedroom, we'd have to put a door stop under the door, and then the wind would kind of make it wiggle a little bit.
Which means you can't open it from the other side.
Yes.
Because you can't move the door stop from the other side. It was a process. 4 months. 4 months.
So all the inside work is done.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's really nice in here now. We do still have to paint. They kind of painted over, all the stuff that they patched up, and they're like, we could paint it. And I was like, get the fuck out of my house. Like, I will paint the walls. So maybe tomorrow. I had one meeting on my calendar tomorrow that got canceled. So maybe tomorrow I will, it's white paint on white paint. So
yeah,
I just
you're not doing anything radical. Like I'm going for deep purple or whatever. Paint.
And they've edged everything already. I basically just need to roll a coat on. It's going to be very easy paint job. So then this will be looking real nice.
It'll be great.
And then the dock is like no longer a hybrid dock, no longer a virtual dock. It is a full in-person realized dock.
Yeah, you can walk on it, and we have.
Yeah, they showed up on Monday and Tuesday and put the decking on it. And then basically it's not quite done yet. They have to put caps on the little posts. They look sort of like fence posts. They're going to put rope railings in.
Yep.
Allegedly tomorrow. That was either going to happen today or tomorrow, and it did not happen today. And then the kind of head of the company that's building it, he came out yesterday, I guess, because I was like, look, Hopper needs to be able to get in and out of the water, and she can't just jump down the seawall. Like, she's kind of clambering down there now, but it's not good. I'm like, we need a ramp.
Right.
And he's a dog lover, and he really took this to heart. And I was like, just, build us a wood ramp. And he's like, normally I do this. I was like, okay, as long as she can get on it. And then he obviously thought about it and thought about it. He's like, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get scaffolding, like an aluminum scaffolding, like the floor, right? So you build a scaffolding outside your house, and then they put in a piece to stand on.
Yeah, the platform. Yeah.
The platform part. So I got one of those. Here, I got one right here.
Right.
And so the way that those work is like, if you've seen scaffolding go up, it's kind of like a bunch of pipes all connected together. And then the platform has kind of like half circle hooks that hook onto the pipes. So imagine that it's a flat aluminum panel, and it's got those three kind of half circle hooky things at the end. He's like, so what we're going to do is we're going to put a post, basically a little tube on the side of your dock ramp. And then these little hooks will go over there, and then there'll be the ramp going into the water. So then you can, if there's a hurricane or something, just the two of us can just lift it off and carry it in.
Right.
He's like, so I got in the water, right? We got his tape measure. I got in the water. He stood on the dock, and then we measure, right, if we get an 10-foot platform, what's the angle going to be? Let's make it, let's 12 feet. Okay, 12 feet. Good. Looking at the angle. Okay, so we figured out the angle. He's like, so I'm going to get one of these. I'm going to order one of these because this is just like one that we had around. And then we're going to put some AstroTurf on it.
Yes.
And we're going to wrap it real tight. We're going to put nice wood trim with like some stainless steel bolts on the outside. So he's going to make this swank ramp.
It's going to be real jazzed up. But the fact that he is, it's adorable that he was like, we're going to put AstroTurf on there. And he kind of wanted Hopper to test it already.
Yeah.
Like, he wanted to say, what angle can she handle, right? Is it too steep? Is this too much work for her? Because, he really genuinely was trying to make it right for Hops.
Yeah, that's lovely. So, that'll happen when it happens, right? But, tomorrow, hopefully they'll put the little caps on the dock, and then, we're going to get some LED lights for it probably.
Yeah.
And
maybe a navigation light so no one runs into it.
Yeah, some decor, whatever. There'll be stuff going on out there, but the work will be done. And that stuff that started literally at the beginning of January, starting with the seawall.
Yeah.
It's really, really nice. So I see the same neighbors. We have two neighbors down the street, and they have a couple little white dogs. I see them every day when I'm out walking the dogs.
Because they walk the dogs 2 or 3 times a day, right?
They walk their dogs a lot, yeah. And I was talking to them, and, every day I've been seeing them, and they're like, how's it going, right? Because they can see all the stuff going on. I was like, oh, my God, there's been people in the house for so long. Oh, my God, I just got to get out of there. And so I saw them today, and I was like, there's nobody at my house right now. And they're like, oh, it's so great. I was like, it's such a relief.
Yeah.
So everything, it has turned out really beautifully. I'm very happy with the work.
Yeah. Yeah. The process was terrible.
Yeah. When the next big project is to redo the kitchen. And I think, we've sort of talked about this, that we're going to have to leave, like be up in Maryland while they work on the kitchen. Because they'll be all over the inside. We won't be able to cook. We won't have any food in the fridge.
Water will be rerouted and electricity, and it'll just be much more invasive.
It's just going to be a long process because it's going to be like all the stuff in the bathroom. They're going to have to work on the subfloor. They're going to have to waterproof stuff. They have to put in new tile, all the cabinets, a backsplash, new lighting, fix the ceiling,
that'll take
plumbing.
2 years.
It's going to take a long time.
Yes.
I mean, maybe you want to stay here. I'll go someplace else. No, we'll go up to Maryland when they do that.
No, it's like this is the downside of the open floor plan, right? If they're in the kitchen, they're in our living space, and we can't just, sit here and watch TV while they're banging away in the kitchen. It doesn't work.
Man. I mean, but that's not going to happen for a while because we have to save up a lot. We have just spent a lot of money we saved up, and now we have to save up more.
Yep. People keep asking us, when are you going to get a boat?
And I'm like, do you see all the shit that we've done here? That's what the money that we would have spent on a boat. Like, we don't want a boat, but if we did, how do you think we're going to buy a boat? Bitches, do you know how much this shit cost?
So one of the dock guys is like, oh, you can get a boat for like $5,000. You can get like a cheap boat. You don't have to pay a lot of money for a boat. I was like, that's actually also not the point. more to the point, I don't want a boat right now. It's a money trap and a time suck. And
neither of us like boats.
No, right? That's really, let's start with that actually. Back up.
We want to sit on the dock and look at fish.
That's a whole lifestyle that we just don't share at all. Or really want to get into. Like,
no.
I want to go out to a sandbar and stand up to my knees with a can of Bud in my hands
and talk to the other people out there
and slowly get sunburned. Quickly get sunburned.
When we got married, so we got married down here in the Keys.
Yep.
And we got married on July 7th, but we came down for 5 or 6 days on that trip because we were living up in Maryland then. And so we were here for the 4th of July.
Yep.
And obviously everybody's got it off. It was the middle of the week, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But, everybody's got it off. And there's a sandbar in like a little island, uninhabited island that a lot of people go to that's very close to the island the resort, Little Palm Island, that we stayed at and got married
Picnic Island.
Picnic Island, yeah. And there is a sandbar out there. And so we went out kayaking, which we do every single time we go to this island, and there's nobody around. Maybe you see somebody boating past. Go through the mangroves. It's really quiet. It's really beautiful. And we go out kayaking, and there's like 50 boats out by this.
It's like a chain of boats.
Island.
They're like chained to each other.
And all these people like out there like drinking their Bud Light and whatever. And I was like, we have to go. I'm like,
this is not fun.
I am not on this fancy vacation to hang out with a bunch of people like drinking Bud Light in their boats and sandbar. No judgment on them having a good time, right?
But they also have dueling radios, and it's like, that's just kind of
it is not a peaceful tropical scene.
Beach life, right? Except it's in a sandbar that's 3 feet under the water.
Not the way I want to hang out.
Yeah.
Like I think it's awesome that people love doing that and they go have a good time and they socialize, but it is not my scene. And I'm not going to enjoy it, so don't make me do it. And I was like, I'm sorry. Like, why are we paying all of this money to, like, do a thing that just looks terrible to me? I'm like, that's so depressing. I hate it. Can we please go back now?
Yeah.
I think we also, Dear Dad is a big proponent of the kayak. I mean, I like kayaking very much, but on those trips, he's always like, let's go kayak. Sometimes he goes by himself. Sometimes he goes twice a day. And I think it was the day after we got married, we went out for a kayak and it was low tide. And I'm like, we can't go out at low tide because the water's really shallow. I'm like, it's not going to work. And we went and we got stuck.
Yeah.
Like we had been gone for like 45 minutes. We were going around this big island, uninhabited island. And we got to the far side and the tide was so low that the boats were just dragging. And we were.
And it's not sand. It's mud.
It's muck.
It's disintegrating plant life, so it's just gross slimy mud.
And you sink in. You can't walk through it.
You can't walk because you're sinking up to your knees. You can't kayak because your butt's dragging because it's so shallow. So you're just kind of stuck trying to like pole your kayak around with the freaking paddle like
Oh, so bad.
like a Venetian
It was
gondolier.
awful. And I think we had to get through this probably 100-yard stretch before.
It was annoyingly far, yeah.
And I think at one point I was like, I am never doing this again.
I think you said it several times.
I was so frustrated.
Yeah.
And, it was fine when we got through it. But we were just talking, and I was saying, like, you were like, people remember kind of bad things. And I was like, I don't. Like, generally when I think back on, trips I've done, stuff, I forget all the really bad stuff that happened and just tend to remember the good stuff. And that's kind of a gift that my mind remembers it. But man, the exception would be that thing getting stuck in those kayaks on July 8th, 2014.
Yeah. And we sure have been careful about the tides since then.
Yeah.
Because it makes a huge difference in where you can pass through and where you can go. And if it's outgoing tide and you go through a channel, half an hour later it'll be butt dragging time, and you won't be able to make it back through there. It's just very unpleasant. If it were nice and sandy, you could just get out and drag your kayak.
That'd be fine then.
But it's not.
No.
No. It's gross, muddy. Bleh.
Yeah.
It's like some kind of dead man's bog down there.
Anyway, that's that. Okay, so yeah, house back to us. Dock pretty much done. Guaco Man has dove off the Daco Man.
Yeah, it's pretty high, right? It's like, what did we say? Like 4 feet off
It's
the
about 4
water?
feet.
Yeah.
Yep. Most of them like to swim underneath. They like to be under the dock. Vink swims laps under it. She just swims one end.
She's very pleased with herself. It's like, ooh, shady now. It's shady.
Yep.
I can swim and it's shady.
And they're all going to love the ramp. So
yeah,
that's going to be fun whenever we get it. Okay. Do you want to do German Word of the Week or Taste of the Keys? Taste of the Keys. You want me to go first?
No, I'll do German Word. I don't want
to
be totally predictable.
Do it. Awesome. Yes.
So today everything is wireless, of course, but not everything is wireless all over the place. And in Germany, when I was growing up, certainly you had wires for everything. And
also in America.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So when you have a bunch of wires that are all knotted and tangled up, I mean, this sort of applies to iPhone earphones that are like, those are always tangled.
They are.
But if you have several wires and everything, and it's all just a lump of wires with things sticking out, you call it Kabelsalat.
Cable salad.
Cable salad. It's kind of like, pasta salad or something, except they're cables.
Pasta salad.
Pretty.
Kartoffelsalat.
Kabelsalat.
Kabelsalat.
So you have to undo the Kabelsalat.
Yeah.
Well,
it's like Christmas lights.
Definitely Christmas lights, except we had real
If you'd like to hear about putting actual burning candles on a dead tree, please go back to 2 Christmases ago with our podcast.
We've probably talked about it a couple times on some
I got a good hour-long rant about how I'm shocked all Europeans aren't dead.
Yeah, and
which we don't need to repeat.
Again, it's also not as frequent, and blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Yep. Kabelsalat.
You ready for my Taste of the Keys?
I am ready.
Transported from Texas in a special jet ICU air ambulance to the Florida Keys late last week, a rehabilitated juvenile bottlenose dolphin has become the Marathon-based Dolphin Research Center's newest resident.
Aww.
The dolphin, dubbed Ranger, is doing well and getting acclimated to new surroundings and people, according to marine mammal experts at the center.
That's nice.
The Dolphin Research Center on Grassy Key welcomes Ranger, a young male bottlenose dolphin who was rescued in Texas, rehabilitated, and then deemed to be non-releasable. Ranger will remain at the facility for the rest of his life.
Is he a menace? You think he's a menace and non-releasable?
The orphaned male calf was rescued in June last year after being discovered stranded in waters around Goose Island State Park in Texas, suffering from an underlying respiratory infection and dehydration.
Aww.
Found near his dead mother,
Ugh.
the dolphin was taken to the Texas State Aquarium Wildlife Rescue Center for care. At just 2 years old, he was deemed too young to forage and survive in the wild, and the National Marine Fisheries Service selected DRC, the Dolphin Research Center, as a permanent home.
That's cool.
We provide sanctuary for any dolphins in need of a forever home, said Linda Erb, the DRC's Vice President of Animal Care and Training. So when we adopt dolphins, they stay in our family forever. Now, what happened with Ranger when he stranded is they determined he could not be released back into the wild. He was too young, so they looked for a permanent home. And we were one of the facilities that volunteered.
That's nice.
Yep.
It's good. It's better than sending him to SeaWorld where he'd be not treated as well.
Yeah, they do have like little shows and stuff at the Dolphin Research Center, but it's all, it's interesting. They're like, the dolphins all consensually participate. So basically they're like, whoever wants to come out can come out. And so they'll have them like jump around and stuff, but that's like if they feel like it, they do that. And they tend to have a good time.
It's like dogs, right? Some dogs really like to perform and do tricks and get snacks. And other dogs are like, I'm just going to lie on the carpets.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, none of them are forced to perform. And it's a non-profit, so they've got stuff where you can like see them and feed them. I think you can pet them.
You can pet stingrays, I think, and stuff. Isn't there like a touchy tank there?
I don't know that that's the DRC. That could be the Theater of the Sea.
Oh, it's definitely the Theater of the Sea, where it's like, here, touch this crab, but not too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody in Texas really loved him, but he needed a permanent home. He's eating like a champ, they say.
Well,
he's interacting and playing with his toys. He's started to make more sounds. I think he hears our dolphins during the day, so he's making kinds of sounds in the air, which is really fun to see.
That's good.
So there you go. Ranger in a special jet ICU air ambulance came to the Florida Keys.
Took an airplane trip.
Mm-hmm. Helicopter trip.
Oh, even better. Helicopter.
Jet helicopter. Oh no, I assumed helicopter. Jet ICU air ambulance. Yeah.
It's far.
It is far.
I mean, it's further than than to Miami or something like that.
Quite.
Which they use helicopters for.
Yep. So there you go. Taste of the Keys.
Oh, we had a manatee and her calf here, but we missed them.
We didn't get to see them.
We were paddling all around.
I know, we were looking, and everybody's like, did you see the manatees? And we're like, we're fucking looking for them right now. Where'd they go?
They're much more sneaky than we thought. I thought they would be obvious, but they must have dove under us.
Yep.
Doved under us.
Dived.
Divin. Stop it. I don't know what it is anymore.
Yeah.
Dave? What?
All right. This is getting boring.
Boring? Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of pointless.
Anything else you need to add? Okay, I'm going to take that as no.
Yeah,
thanks. Thanks, everybody, for listening. And until next week, Slava Ukraini, and don't put anyone unless they ask you to. Bye.
Bye.